Hello there and welcome to the latest edition of the Nightline as we debut our new set design. We do like it and we hope you do too. I'm Razi Ahmad.
And here with me, Cheryl Shamina. As always, thank you for joining us. So shall we dive into the news, Razi?
Yes, we shall. A committee will immediately be established to deal with the issues and challenges faced exporting goods to the Sarawak Trade and Tourism Office in Singapore. Deputy Chair Minister Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said the state government will work together with the relevant ministries, agencies and business communities.
Launched in August last year, STATOS has successfully promoted Sarawakian products to Singapore such as Midin, frozen patin fish, Sarawakian noodles and many more. Following the success of STATOS, the Sarawak government is looking to set up similar offices in Brunei Darussalam and Pontianak, Indonesia, in the effort to further promote Sarawak as an investment, trade and tourism destination. On Friday, Awang Tengah was briefed by STATOS management via video conference to discuss leveraging on STATOS to further promote international investment, trade and tourism for Sarawak.
The severity of COVID-19 impact on business is unprecedented. Weak economic and financial results, supply chain distributions and demand cutbacks are challenging most sectors, including SMEs.
Nearly 70% of SMEs in Sarawak have been affected since the outbreak. Therefore, the Sarawak government has allocated 50 million ringgit for SMEs in Sarawak under microcredit scheme. Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said the allocation is part of the Sarawak government's initiative in making sure the SMEs can continue to support their families. In fact, SMEs, he said, have contributed greatly to the country's economy and the country's gross domestic product. He added most business entities are from the industry.
Kerajaan Persekutuan telah pun melancarkan pakej prihatin dan penjana. Kerajaan negeri kita telah pun melancarkan pakej Sarawakku Sayang. 4 pakej. Di mana kita telah pun memperuntukkan peruntukan yang agak besar daripada kerajaan negeri itu. 1.74 bilion ringgit. Termasuk untuk membantu para PKS kita.
He said this at the Jom Register Business Sarawakku Sayang program in Limbang. Applicants who have applied for microcredit scheme and approved this year do not have to pay interest for up to 3.5 years.
Tahun ini, negeri Sarawak telah pun memperuntukkan microkredit, peruntukan sebanyak 50 juta. Seperti yang dikatakan oleh Datuk Nordin tadi. Dan microkredit ini terbuka untuk semua kaum. Ianya tidak tertumpu pada satu-satu kaum saja. Bumi Putra, bukan Bumi Putra juga boleh menikmati kemudahan ini. Tahun depan insya-Allah kita akan tambah lagi sebanyak 50 juta.
A turnout of about 1,000 is expected at the state level Youth Day 2020 this upcoming Saturday, December 5th. The celebration will be held at Asajaya Sports Complex near Kota Samarahan in strict compliance with the standard operating procedures to curb the spread of COVID-19.
Pun dengan jumlah yang kecil ini pun saya percaya ia akan dapat memberi keceriaan yang besar dan selain daripada itu dapat memberi kemeriahan kepada mereka-mereka yang akan hadir. Karena di tempat tapak sambutan akan juga diadakan seperti tahun-tahun lain berbagai jenis aktiviti-aktiviti yang menjadi kesukaan belia.
He said this via a record that was uploaded on his Facebook site. Abdul Karim, who is also a Sajaya Assemblyman, said the celebration-themed Youth the Driver in Digital Transformation will be officiated by the Chief Minister, Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg. The celebration will also witness the presentation of Youth Award 2020 for male and female, as well as associations category to appreciate the contributions made by youth in developing Sarawak.
Meanwhile, commenting on the statement raised by the opposition on lowering the price of liquefied petroleum gas or LPG, who said that the distribution rights has not benefited the people in Sarawak. Karim said such statement is merely a sensationalization of the issue.
To sensationalize the issue dan membuatnya andaian macam kerajaan ini mengaturkan program ini dan tidak menguntungkan rakyat.
Karim said the opposition should know that the price of LPG cannot be reduced as it is a controlled item.
Syarikat kita sendiri juga untuk menjual itu, macam mana kita nak menjualnya lebih murah daripada itu, karena mesti ikut apa yang telah ditetapkan oleh kerajaan. Harga itu adalah kontrol, gas adalah kontrol item.
However, Karim believes that the state government will find a formula to reduce the burden on consumers. He said so after paying a courtesy call to Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg.
Welcome back.
Perak Menteri Besar Ahmad Faizal Azumu has lost the confidence of the State Assembly after 48 members voted against the motion of confidence on him on Friday.
Member of the Perak State Legislative Assembly said this is the third time a chief minister in the country failed to get the support of most majority members of the State Assembly, with the first two occurring in 1975 and 1977. Meanwhile, Chairman of DAP Perak, Nga Korming, also said the Pakatan Harapan leadership will hold a discussion on the formation of the new government. Ahmad Faizal, who is also Cenderawsih Member of Parliament from Bersatu, failed to obtain majority support of the State Assemblyman in the vote of confidence on the Menteri Besar at the State Assembly sitting today. The motion was moved by Pengkalan Baru Assemblyman Dato' Abdul Manap Hashim of Barisan Nasional. The Perak State Assembly comprises 25 UMNO Assemblymen, DAP 16, Bersatu 5, Amanah 5, PKR 3, PAS 3, 1 Gerakan and 1 Independent.
The status of cannabis as a dangerous drug in Malaysia remains unchanged, despite United Nations' recent decision to reclassify the drug as less risk narcotics. Home Minister Datuk Seri Hamzah Zainuddin asserted that the decision does not change the status of cannabis control and all cannabis-related materials in Malaysia.
At the international level, the decision of the Commission also does not release control to the cannabis as it remains tightly controlled under Schedule 1 of the 1961 Convention. As a member in all three international drug control conventions, which are the Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs of 1961, the Convention on Psychotropic Substances of 1971, and the United Nations Convention Against Illicit Traffic in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances of 1988. Malaysia, he said, remains committed to combat narcotics in criminal domestic and global stage.
A total of 5,835 cartons of cigarettes and 3,636 boxes of various brands was disposed at Kemuyang dumping site in Cebu. The previous goods have been investigated under the Customs Act 1967. Cebu District Police Chief ACP Stanley Jonathan Ringgit said the items were exhibits in court and were worth about 300,000 ringgit.
All countries must stand united to repel false information regarding COVID-19 vaccines. This includes anti-vaccine propaganda, especially at a time when the world is preparing vaccination plans to fight the pandemic.
According to the Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein, while COVID-19 continues to be an issue, the danger of false information is fast becoming the main problem, which interferes with the progress that has been achieved. As soon as information on vaccine successes become the talk of the world, incorrect or misleading information regarding the vaccine implementation, DNA changes, and fake claims will start to spread. He added, the community's awareness regarding the need for vaccination is important to prevent people from living in fear and triggering divisions during the launching of the vaccine. He further said Malaysia's stance on COVID-19 vaccine is that when developed, the vaccine must be easy to access, easy to obtain, and affordable.
The outcome of the special Muzakara Committee meeting on the use of the COVID-19 vaccine among Muslims in Malaysia is expected to be known next week. This will be made after a decision is presented to and approved by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Ayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah at the Conference of Rulers.
Minister in the Prime Minister's Department of Religious Affairs, Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Muhammad Al-Bakri, said the special Muzakara Committee meeting was held yesterday to discuss matters pertaining to the use of the vaccine. Meanwhile, Zulkifli said he was in the midst of publishing a special magazine to provide explanations on the use of vaccines among Muslims in an effort to give a clear view of the matter. He also said the 40-page magazine, which is written in a simple language and easy to understand, is expected to be released in 2 weeks' time.
The State Disaster Management Committee Sarawak, or SDMC, recorded one new case of COVID-19 in Kuching District today, classified as an import case. This brings the total number of positive cases in the state to 1,067.
SDMC also reported that no new clusters were detected today, as the number of active clusters in the state remains unchanged at 6 and are the Besi cluster, Jalan Abil cluster, Baki cluster, Seladah cluster, Green Hill cluster and Wisma Sebekas cluster.
A total of 1,075 new COVID-19 cases were recorded in Malaysia on Thursday, along with 11 deaths. This is the second highest daily casualty rate reported since the pandemic hit the country earlier this year. These latest deaths bring the cumulative number of COVID-19 deaths in Malaysia to 376. We'll be right back after a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Hello again and welcome back.
The Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, have announced it will consider every ICNR application under Category 2. This is to ensure that members who are ineligible for Category 1 will still have a chance for financial assistance in Category 2.
EPF Chief Executive Officer Tunku Ali Zakri Raja Muhammad Alias said those with high or low incomes who are affected financially but are ineligible to apply for ICNR under Category 1 may do so under Category 2.
Kita tahu situasi individu, setiap individu ahli kita terjejas ni unik kepada individu mereka. Kita tidak boleh membuat one size fits all Jadi untuk Category 2 pula, kita menyarankan kepada ahli kita, siapkan dokumen-dokumen yang boleh menunjukkan impak ataupun kesan yang terjejas dan hantarlah kepada TWSP daripada 11 hari bulan Januari 2021.
He said this during the ICNR dialogue with EPF program on Astro Awani on Thursday. Tunku Ali Zakri stressed that EPF will consider every application to ensure that no one is left out getting financial assistance. On December 2nd, EPF announced that contributors who are eligible to apply for the ICNR facility is divided into 2 categories. Category 1 is for contributors working in the formal sector, self-employed, working in the gig economy sector, members who have not contributed for a period of time, members who lost their jobs, housewives, or members who had not given paid leave. Meanwhile, Category 2 is for members who are still working but are experiencing income reduction of 30% and above, including reductions of salaries and allowance or deductions of overtime payments. In March 2020, though the reduction will need to be verified through supporting documents.
The National Higher Education Fund Corporation, PTPTN, has achieved 75% or 1.1 billion ringgit total deposit amount of the 1.5 billion ringgit target for 2020 as of October.
According to PTPTN Chief Executive Officer Ahmad Dasuki Abdul Majid, a total of 4.75 million National Education Savings Scheme, also known as SSPN accounts, have been opened with a deposit amount of 7.02 billion ringgit until October 31st. He said this when speaking at the exchange of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU between SSPN and Maisutra Sdn Bhd, widely known as Canggih. The MOU exchange saw the launching of the Canggih Lah Simpan di SSPN campaign that offers members with existing accounts to make an additional deposit in SSPN during the campaign period from December 1st until December 31st, with the opportunity to enjoy special rewards from SSPN.
2 security personnel perished in the line of duty after they were set adrift by the strong water current when conducting a routine operations in Sungai Layun, Ulu Baram Miri. Both victims identified as Sergeant Simon, General Operation Force or GOF personnel, and Sergeant Kamiang, an auxiliary police attached with an oil and gas company, set out together with 6 other personnel at the Set River around 6:40 p.m. before they were separated from the team around 8 p.m. Sarawak Commissioner of Police Dato' Aidi Ismail, when contacted, confirmed the case said the bodies were found around 3 p.m. on Friday at the scene where they were reported missing. The remains have since been brought to the Miri Hospital for further action.
The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, has advised the public to be vigilant on the existence of fake accounts that run rampant on social media. MCMC, in a statement, provided some examples on how to identify these fake accounts, with one of them being the account having only been activated in the past few months.
MCMC said these fake accounts would have a short list of friends or none at all, adding that even the short list of friends could be fake. Fake account can also be identified through too many likes on various topics and groups and very few likes on your own account. The MCMC said in a statement that the public can help tackle these fake accounts by clicking the Report Fake Account option provided by the social media platform provider for further scrutiny and action based on violations of stipulated community standards. The MCMC, police and other related agencies can take legal action if there is a misuse of the internet and social media for criminal or seditious purposes.
University Technology Mara or UiTM Sarawak entered into a memorandum of agreement with STOMA Sdn Bhd to develop a system on improving the quality of water in rivers.
The MOA was signed by UiTM Sarawak's rector, Professor Dato' Jamil Hamali, and STOMA's Chief Executive Officer Firdaus Abdullah at UiTM Samarahan 2, Kuching. Under the MOA, both parties had agreed to carry out collaborated researches through the exchange of staff and students, as well as in other related fields as set forth in the memorandum. The main objectives of this MOA is to carry out, conduct, and assess the findings and development of a biological treatment plant process and methodology, a system to improve the surface water quality in rivers using biological treatment. Jamil said the commercialization of products developed from these researches would not just benefit UiTM and STOMA, but more importantly, the water industry. He added the memorandum would not only strengthen the partnership between the two parties, but would also benefit the community.
Maintenance works for the 3rd mile flyover Kuching will take place on December 5th to 6th and December 12th to 13th. Hence, road users are advised to use appropriate alternative routes within the periods. Public Works Department JKR in a statement said the maintenance and closure will start at 8 a.m. and end at 8 p.m. Therefore, road users are advised to adhere to traffic signage and management during the maintenance works. Meanwhile, over in the automotive industry, Proton has handed over 8 units of the Proton X70 to the Ministry of Health for use in Sabah. The handover ceremony happened yesterday at Fukuloy Corporation Proton 4S outlet in Kota Kinabalu. The fleet of X70s will be used in MOH logistics and surveillance efforts in the ongoing fight against COVID-19. This batch of cars is in addition to the 50 units of the X70 loaned to MOH back in March. Proton EDAR CEO Roslan Abdullah said Proton feels that it is their duty to step up and support the government's efforts from the outset, as the COVID-19 pandemic is probably one of the most challenging times we have faced as a nation. Proton also donated self-produced face shields to MOH in April.
Kuching City FEC team will reveal the full list of players who will play in the next season of the Premier League by the end of the year. The chairman of Kuching City FC, Fazruddin Abdul Rahman, said the tactical and tactical performance of the football players will be evaluated during the Sarawak Tour series from December 8 to 21.
The newcomer of the second season of the Malaysian League had begun training on Wednesday under the watch of the former coach of Kuching FA President Cup squad, Firdaus Morshidi. New head coach of Kuching City FC, Irfan Bhakti, is also expected to arrive in Kuching in 2 weeks. In the meantime, 3 import players, Brian Jones, Leonardo Alves and Hudson Diaz, are still in Brazil, but they are expected to arrive in Kuching after Christmas. According to Fazruddin, the decision to keep import players was made because of their good performance that have brought the team to the 2020 Premier League and to qualify for the country's oldest football championship, the Malaysian Cup.
A meeting has been convened in Cebu Indoor Stadium to discuss preparations to host Sukan Sarawak or Suksar in accordance with the new normal. According to the Executive Officer of the Sarawak Sports Corporation, SSC, Dr. Ong Kong Swee, the objective of the meeting is to analyze the pros and cons of hosting Suksar 2 in Miri last year.
Perkembangan masyarakat itu ialah berkenaan dengan persediaan untuk Suksar di Cebu. Cebu adalah host untuk 2021 untuk Sukan Sarawak lah. Dan masa tu juga kita ada post-mortem untuk yang 2019 apa yang sikap dia ataupun penambahbaikan untuk Suksar yang akan datang lah di Cebu.
Suksar aims to discover new sport talents in the state as well as to expose them to real competition, particularly in the prestigious Malaysia Games SUKMA. Suksar is the platform to select aspiring athletes to represent Sarawak in SUKMA, where only those who are 19 years of age and below are eligible to compete. This is to ensure their eligibility in the following year, since only those aged 21 years old and below can compete in SUKMA. Ong also revealed that the next Suksar competition will be held in strict compliance with the stipulated standard operating procedures.
Cabaran adalah, tapi kita mesti melihat secara ke depan lah kan. Walaupun ada, tapi kita ada SOP yang telah kami dah sediakan sepanjang tahun ini. Mengharapkan supaya tidak ada MCO dah jadilah. Kalau green zone untuk kebanyakan kawasan di Sarawak, dan kita akan proceed bulan Disember tahun depan.
And that concludes the Nightline. I'm Razi Ahmad.
And here with me, Cheryl Shamina. As always, thank you for watching your local news. We'll see you next time.
Have a good night. Stay safe.